the people voted, and you know, they have to get on with it. And suddenly it's like, oh well, we don't like that vote. And what do you mean you don't like that vote? You had the vote. This is what won. Let's get on with it.
Would you have voted that way?
I would have voted for Brexit. Yes, I would have voted to get out. But don't tell Bob Geldof.
Why did you vote that way, Ringo?
Well, because I think it's a great move. I think, you know, to be in control of your own country is a good move.
Post the Brexit vote and the referendum, you suddenly had this very vicious mood encircling that the older generation have destroyed our country, when in fact this isn't the case. And we've often had this sentiment, especially amongst young people, that, oh, we shouldn't be allowing older people to have the vote. When the truth of the matter is that in World War II, we fought tooth and nail so that everyone could have freedom. Now, the UK people exercise their right, and the fact of the matter is that we voted to leave the EU.
So, Grandma was right.
Indeed.
Okay.
Brexit?
Yeah.
I'm in favour of Brexit, actually, because I'd rather be a poor master of my own fate than a rich servant of someone else's. It's got nothing to do with immigration, pounds, money, currency, anything. We're being run by a man called Mr. Juncker, you know? And when he's with the former president of Luxembourg. Up until I was 20, I thought Luxembourg was a radio station. I didn't even know it was a country. And now he's running my country. And he doesn't seem to like us.
I don't think that young people should be given the vote like 16-year-olds. I definitely think they should be a little bit 18 as a consenting adult, as that's at the age you can buy a house or get married on your own legally.
Was Grandma right to vote Brexit?
I do think Grandma was right, and another thing that annoys me is who says all these young people didn't vote for Brexit? All my friends, all under the age of 25, all voted Brexit. All my community voted Brexit. All most people I know voted Brexit. Most of the North voted Brexit. So it really, really drives up when politicians are saying that the young people didn't vote for it. The young people did vote for it. We know what we voted for. We voted to leave the customs union, we voted to leave the single market, we voted to take back control. We don't want a jobs first Brexit, we want a people's first Brexit. That is what we voted for. We wanted democracy back, and that should be the basics of it. Not about jobs, not about economy, not about living standards, about what people want, about democracy.
But the bottom line. The statistics from the polls that were done showed, I've got them here, that 73% of people under 24 voted to remain.
The same polls that said that Brexit were going to win, and for Remain were going to win, and the same polls that said the Conservatives were going to win a majority in the last general election.
No, but they were done afterwards, asking people how they read. But you know, you may be right.
I hear it all the time, saying young people didn't vote for Brexit, but all
your friends voted Brexit.
Definitely, most of the North, everybody was voting Brexit. I struggled to find anybody that lived near me that voted Remain.
Shamash Chakrabarti.
Over each other, it's sort of like let's all be grown up.
But if we got rid of crazy EU regulations against wonky, wonky food and veg, then we wouldn't lose 20% of what British farmers produce at the moment, because it can't be used because supermarkets won't stock it.
I've got nothing nice to say about the EU at all. I really haven't. I think it saps the life and the icing off of our farmers and common sense.
They do produce pretty good wine, though, don't they?
Sorry?
They do produce pretty good wine.
So does England these days. Don't know if you tried. No, but although the French are buying that up. No, I think all I want is you know, all that's. I mean, remember when the cucumber came in? You know, if it's over that much of a bend, then we can't sell it. How dare they? How dare they? There's a home for that. You know what I mean? And I'd like to see the bendy ones in their own box at a discounted price, which would be a damn sight better than.
There's nothing stopping them doing that. It doesn't say they're prohibited. Yes. No, it says they're not grade A, but they'll be marketed as grade C.
But EU commissioners are meeting in a week's time to actually look at this again. So what's your message to them?
I just have no faith that anything good will come out of it. It will take ages. It will be disappointing, and it will be unclear. And there'll be loopholes. I wish it never existed. And labelling is a perfect example. Great Britain cannot choose what its minimum standards for labelling and clarity is, because it has to go through EU. And the EU has got a lot more to worry about than just Great Britain. And frankly, I only care about Great Britain. So, you know, I can take you to a supermarket now and it will say sourced in the UK, and on the back it will say from Denmark. How dare they? You know, and you know, it's a big old subject. Don't get me off on one, or I will go on a tangent.
We're going to have some give and take. I'm going to have to find a way of approaching Brexit that genuinely can bring...
As extreme. Brexit is Brexit. It's not difficult to understand. It's Brexit. Don't tell us, and I'm fed up of hearing this from politicians, don't tell us that those ardent Brexiteers, we just want Brexit. It means getting out of the single market, governing ourselves, controlling our borders. This is not rocket science. It's called Brexit.
All of our political parties have spent far too much time talking to themselves, and specifically the government. Yes, it's an utter shambles, as you said, and it's shameful. I would disagree with what you said, though, about needing to stay within the customs union and the single market, because I don't think that the 52% of people who voted to leave had a silent caveat in their heads when they put the tick in that box. They didn't think, yes, we want to leave, but we want to stay in the customs union and the single market, because if you stay in the customs union and the single market, you're not leaving. You really are. Now, you may or may not be right that it could lead to economic disaster for this country if we do leave them, but I'm sorry, this is democracy. We took a referendum. 52% of people said we want to leave, and that means leaving. In a moment of clarity, a long time ago now it seems, the Prime Minister said Brexit means Brexit, and a few people said, well, what does that mean? Well, it was obvious what it meant. She meant that we were absolutely going to leave hook, line and sinker. And I think,
so what do you make of the process that's going on?
I think the process is a mess. I don't think, well, in fact, I don't think there is a process. I think what we're seeing, as far as the government's concerned, is this lurching from one holding operation to the next, and the clock's ticking. We've got 10 months to go. And I think it is now time for proper leadership on this, a proper acknowledgement that the people have spoken, they want us to leave, that includes leaving both those organisations that you name, and let's get on with it and make it work. And I voted Remain.